All right, hey you guys, what's up? It's Charlie. Today we are going to be doing a crow progression video. So we're going to be doing some crow progressions, but in the beginning starting off with some drills to help us kind of just strengthen our crow, or even just build up to crow if we're not there yet. So make sure that you watched our first crow video first. Make sure you feel at least somewhat comfortable in like this little squat right here, right? Rocking side to side with your hands down, whether your feet are lifted or not, just making sure you feel comfortable there. And then before we get into it, we're just gonna land in a tabletop right on our hands and knees and rocking front to back, kind of getting into your wrists. Maybe you even bring your fingertips to face the side walls and rock side to side, or make circles around your wrists that way. Maybe you even bring your fingertips to face your knees and rock front to back, or make circles that way. Just kind of getting nice and deep into your wrists, taking about 3 or 4 breaths here. And from here, slowly peeling your fingers off the ground. Toes can be tucked or untucked. That's up to you if you want a little toe stretch. And then you're going to bring your hands together, interlace your fingers, flip your palms in front of you, and really protract, kind of like you're pressing everything away, finding this round through your spine, really rounding. And just do the opposite. Pull away. Just going like that. Next time you flip, fingers face that way, reach all the way up, and then hands are going to be down, come to your tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, so we're not going through a whole flow, don't worry about it. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, and then can you tap your right knee to your right elbow, and then bring it back. So with your knees hovered, tap that left knee to your left elbow, and bring it back. And you can do that a couple times. You can do that with knees down if that's too much, and find your tap, then bring it back, and tap, and bring it back. But that's one first good drill to go through if you kind of want to work towards that crow. Build that strength and that pull through your kind of core there, through your bandhas, bringing everything in, pressing and rounding through, and then pulling up right there, right? So that same pressing and rounding that we're finding here. And then from there, maybe we find our squat and we start rocking front to back here. A good thing to do to get your crow stronger is, let's say you already have your crow, you go right into that crow, feeling nice and strong there. Can you find these like almost push-ups? So what I want you to think about doing is pressing through your palms. You're kind of lowering your chest down. You're not going to think about your head or anything dropping quite yet. We can do something like that later. But for now, you're just kind of lowering, keeping your heart open. So I'm pulling my heart forward, lowering down, and then lifting. I'll show you. My hands come down, bringing your toes together here, and then lowering down, and then lifting, and then lowering, and then lifting. I'm going slow through those, making sure you're breathing as you do that, and really feel that lift and tuck in through your belly as you press through your palms, right? And then if that's a lot in your wrists, you can always do a couple wrist circles. You guys know, I think I have a video posted for some wrist things to do. Shake them out, do what you gotta do. But we're gonna move right on to our next one. From there, let's say you're just hanging out in this squat and you wanna work towards hopping back in your crow. So like I said, crow progression video. If you're already feeling strong in your crow, a lot of you are probably like, okay, I get to this point right here. Maybe I did my push-ups, but now what, right? Where do I go? You can always come back to this squat, of course, but eventually we'll hop back to our chaturanga. So hands are down, lifting, pulling our heart forward, and then hopping back. If you need a rundown of your crow, like I said, go back to our last video, watch the crow rundown. I'm not gonna go through all of that again, so more details on getting into your crow there. But once you're in that crow, maybe we wanna go for that hop back. So it's a big press through your palms. That push-up that we were doing before, that's really helpful here in this hop back. Hence why we did the push-up first. So that kind of like press down, that pop that we did when we did our push-up is that pop that you hop back in. So right, I'm right here. I'm gonna do a push-up and then a hop back. So a push-up here, and then a hop back. Bend, and hop back. So obviously, that was much more exaggerated. You're not actually gonna like fully push up into it, but you're kind of imagining that you're gonna do that when you're hopping back. Let's say you're not ready to hop back yet. It's all good. That's a lot. You can do one leg and then the other, or you can even do it feet down. I'm gonna show you a couple different options. And then I'll kind of talk them through as I show them actually. So another option, if you're like, all right, hopping back is kind of a lot. I feel like my hips are dropping. We want to keep our hips risen a little bit, right? So I don't want to see this as you hop back. We don't want that. We want this nice strong belly. Think hips high, hop back, stay there. And then lift, right? If you can't get to that yet, all good. Hands come down. Start to lift yourself forward. From here, maybe you can hop one leg back and then the other and lower. Knees can always tap. If you're like, Charlie, that feels harder, which it might, it's all good. You can bring your feet down. You can try to hop back from here with feet down. So this is always a great progression. Hands down, leaning forward. As you lean forward, heels lift just a little bit. And then from here, you can always step one leg back and then the other. Or maybe hop back. And if you're confused about the flow that I'm doing, I do also have a video about that, so go back and watch that. All right, so moving on, we just did those push-ups, we did the crow hop backs. Another progression for our crow. Let's say you're feeling good in that crow, your hop back's feeling good, you're doing your push-ups, or even you just want to try something else, you're feeling strong there. We are gonna start to tap our head down. So right where you're looking, you know how I kind of talk about that triangle? Hands are down in the bottom two corners of your triangle, and then gaze is that top corner, right? So hands down, gaze is like right about here. See how that forms a triangle? So where I'm looking in my crow is where the top of my head is going down onto the ground. So another way to measure where, like which part of your head goes on the ground, take your hand, ball of your hand goes right in between your eyebrows. From there, drop your hand down, and right where that middle finger is, that is the part of your head that goes on the ground. From there, hands down, come into your crow. Lean yourself forward. Let me move my hair so you can see a little better. Lean yourself forward, and then like I said, where is my head tapping? Not here, right there. Looking forward, and then from here, looking forward and going slow. Try not to let my chest just drop, and then lifting. So just lifting, oh, my necklace got, but you're just tapping and lifting your head. And another big thing here that we like to do is a lot of times press a little too hard through the pads of our hands as you lift up. You're not pressing back, right? My body is staying completely straight, completely where it is, right? I'm not really moving anything. Arms are staying still, core is staying still, legs are staying. I'm not lifting or lowering my hips. I'm not moving them forward or back. I'm just slowly tapping my head and lifting. Body is kind of staying the same, right? As close to the same as I can. Slowly lowering, slowly lifting. Ah, almost fell there. So from here, if you're like, okay, I want a little bit more, slowly lower, and we're gonna go right into it this time. Lift your hips up a little bit. Once you feel good here, can you hug your knees together? Once you feel good here, you can always go up to your headstand. And we'll come right down. Same way. Knees come in. Bring your knees wide. Tap them to your elbows. And then you can bring yourself back up. From there, I didn't have my blocks, but you're more than welcome to have your blocks, right? So if you want blocks in between your head, kind of like they would be on your shoulders, I can show that way to go up to your headstand. If you're not doing headstand yet, please do not push it. We'll make another video to go up to headstand so you can just tap and lift for now. I don't want anybody going upside down if they're not used to it. Another thing is, if you feel any neck pain, really be careful. So you don't want to put too much pressure on your head when you're tapping, when you're lifting. Other than that, you can put those blocks right here. I'll actually show you with the blocks, just so you see. So hands come down, head comes down, right in between those blocks. And then my shoulders are on the blocks. And from here, going like that. And you can also do that up against a wall if you're practicing up against the wall, and that's where you're at right now. Like I said, don't go up if you're not ready. Those progressions will help you. So tapping your head, hugging your knees together, thinking about lifting your hips to stack over top of your shoulders when you hug those knees together, and find that little lift and hug in there. All right. From there, we can put our blocks away if we have them. And we're gonna do just like 1 or 2 more progressions, and that's pretty much it for today, at least. From there, we did our push-ups, we did our little headstand push-ups, and we did our jump back. Let's say you're feeling good in all of those and you're wanting a little bit more. So another thing you can do is just find your forward fold. Right here. From here, bring your feet together. And this isn't really changing a lot, but it might feel a little bit different. You can find a little half lift, exhale, fold, and then we're squatting down from here. Finding that little squat, feet together, knees come wide, elbows in towards your knees, and you're gonna crow from here with your toes together. So like I said, it might not be changing a lot, but it might be. So from here, just going forward and lifting with your toes together and lowering with your toes together. And once you do that, there is another kind of little step here. That's why I did this one here, because you're just gonna find a little cross-legged fold. From here, once you feel good there, hands can come down. Knees are gonna come wide, but ankles are still crossing here, right? So knees come wide to your elbows. As you cross, slowly lift up. And you're using that bottom ankle, right? So my bottom ankle is kind of helping me lift. Once you do that side, you can switch and do your other side. Knees come wide. And then here's a funky little thing we can always do here. Once you're up, you can bring your toes together. And then switch. And then toes together. And then switch. Maybe toes together and hop back to that like little tiny crow. Yeah, so you can kind of find a couple little different things here. All right, from there, we are gonna do just 1 more progression, and we're gonna start that on our elbows in a tabletop here. Hair's getting in the way today, sorry about that. So right in our tabletop on our elbows, and from here, maybe you find a couple little cat-cows. Maybe, I know it's a little funky, but can you lift your right knee and try to hug it in towards your armpit? And then lower it. And then lift your left knee and hug it in towards your armpit. And you can do that a couple times, kind of like we did before. But then we're gonna find a little baby crow. So another fun little progression that we can play around with here. Hopping into your squat, bringing your hands to heart center, and then your elbows are gonna come down to the ground. Oh my gosh, my hair is really a mess. Sorry about that. Hands are gonna come together, elbows are gonna hop down, pressing your hands through the ground, pressing your elbows down really strong, right? So I'm pressing through my forearms, hands and elbows are pressing pretty much even weight here. And then from here, I'm pressing my elbows into my armpits, right? So not low, as high as I can, keeping them as high up, kind of like I'm crawling my belly in between my legs. From there, I can shift forward and back and forward and maybe lift. Yeah. Keeping your face off the ground. I know it's probably impossible to see my face right now, but shifting forward here and lifting like that. It's like a little tiny crunchy baby crow. So that's your baby crow there. It's gonna feel very tiny and crunchy, like I said, and that's okay. So some of those little crunches that we were doing before will kind of help you feel that crunchiness, whether it's on your hands or on your elbows, feeling that crunchiness. There's also lots of other drills you can do, but those are just some nice, easy ones. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Make sure once you're done with your crow, do some nice opening through your chest. So you can always do a couple of these little cobra rolls, forehead down, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Maybe a child's pose. And then maybe some twists too. So laying on your back. Twisting it out a little bit, one way, and then the other way. Just kind of letting your chest open. Feel free to do a couple bridges, back bending, and then just let it go. You need to let your wrists go, circle it out. I know that was a lot. And there's really even a lot more that we can do. That's just the beginning of kind of the big giant iceberg that is crow. So hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something, took something from that, and had some fun. And I think that's pretty much it for now. See you next time. Have a good one.